We're here with head coach Ray Leek with Dalton, their football program, getting ready to start the 2024 season. Coach, really appreciate you taking time out of your day to join us on our Shot Callers podcast. And the last time I talked to you, you were coaching a different football program, but now you have since moved on from Cambridge to Dalton. And that's where I want to start because, Brock Dial stepped down at the end of their season last year. The opportunity comes up, and obviously you went to Mount Union, so you kind of have ties to that area.
Yeah.
It's close by. I guess just talk to me about this process and how it all came about for you, and why this was the right opportunity for you to pursue taking over this football program.
Yeah, for sure. No, and I appreciate you guys having me on to talk some ball here. It's crazy. We're here already, August 1st. It's exciting. But yeah, anytime you join a new program, there's a lot of moving parts. So for me, why is it the right fit? One is just getting back home, family from the area, a lot of familiarity. And there's no other place I'd rather be coaching right now. It's a different brand of football in Northeast Ohio. I think that's very exciting for me to be back home in the area. Number one. So I just think it fit me and our family, and with my wife and kids, and just being able to get back to the area meant a lot to us. I enjoyed my time at Cambridge, but I'm real excited to be here at Dalton, and high expectations. And the transition has been great. The kids have worked hard. Everybody's been welcoming. Community support's outstanding. So yeah, we're ready to get started here August 1st.
You're kind of walking into a situation where, I mean, it's kind of a dream scenario for any
For
coach
sure.
that's kind of taken over a program where they're coming off of a state championship appearance. It's the best season that they've had in their program's history, the furthest tournament run that they've had. So this team is kind of ready to win now, and you kind of just get to step into that. I mean, what's that been like for you? Kind of just hopping in here with this group of guys, these group of players that you have, and they're experienced, they're good, they're ready to win. What's that
Yeah.
been like?
No, it's just exciting. Anytime you get to be a part of a program like that, it's special. Football means a lot to this community. Again, football it means a lot to me and our family. So I just think it's a great fit. And the kids they want to win. They expect to win. We have high expectation and goals as a team and individuals as well. So for me, it's great because my expectations are through the roof, and every coach wants to win, and but it's the process for me and what it takes to win. It's the consistency and the daily grind, and putting the time in the weight room, and everything that goes a part of that. So for me, it's just been taking it one day at a time. Got the job back in early March, and then really hit the weight room, and then we transitioned to camp days, and now we're into two a days. So it's just taking it a day at a time and making sure that we're paying attention to small details, and we're perfecting the things, and we're getting better every day that we're out there.
Have you guys competed in a lot of 7-on-7s and actually gotten any kind of like competition? Obviously, you see what you guys do in practice every day, and
Yeah.
there's that side of it. But as far as like competing against other teams to really truly see what you have at your disposal, have you done much of that this summer?
Yeah, we went to Ohio State. There was a lot of good competition down there. That was an outstanding 7-on-7 for us. We went to Ashland University, and we went to Mount Camp as well back in July, and we had some great talent there, and some bigger schools to go against. To really push us and see what we're made of. And then we went to a couple smaller 7-on-7s and hosted a couple here. So we've seen a lot of competition outside of ourselves. And it's just great for our quarterbacks, receivers to be on the same page, reading defenses, reading the coverages, and, getting a look at a different speed rather than a scout team. And anytime you can go against better competition, that just slows the game down for you as you progress through the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. So 7-on-7s is it's as close to real football, I guess, as
Sure.
you can get. But obviously, there's no pads,
No.
there's no pass rush, there's no offensive line
Correct.
or anything like that. So obviously, do you kind of take what you see as far as like stuff with your quarterbacks and receivers with kind of a grain of salt? Because obviously, you get to see the timing, you get to see the route running and
Sure.
whatnot, but obviously there's not that full element of pressure with
Correct.
a full defense in front of you. I guess how do you evaluate the 7-on-7s when it comes to your pass game?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not real football. There's no pads. There's no pass rush. It's 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 fake almost. You know what I mean? The
Mhm.
quarterback has no pressure. He's just sitting there reading the defense, for 3 or 4 seconds, and that's just not reality in the way the game's played. For the defense, there's no run threat. I think the biggest thing that you can take away is to make sure you and your, as far as receivers, quarterbacks are on the same page. The skills, quarterbacks. It's good to get that look, but when you put the pads on, that's when real football starts, and you start running the ball, and you get after it. It changes every aspect of the game.
Now, I'm sure it's kind of different for everybody, but is there anything that you have brought from Cambridge to kind of install into your system here with your new program? I mean, is there stuff offensively, schematically, play design, and whatnot that you've kind of taken from what you did at Cambridge? Where because I know at Cambridge you were kind of airing it out a lot more. You had a great quarterback
Yeah.
and great weapons during your time there. Is that similar to what you're trying to do, with Dalton?
Yeah, so I mean, every coach has their own thing and their own system, but for me, it's fitting our personnel and getting to know our kids and what we're good at. That's the number one thing. We're going to make sure that we get the kids the ball, and that they're going to make plays for us first and foremost. Whether that's airing it out or running it, we want the playmakers to have the ball. So I think yes, there's some schemes that we're going to run, and I brought with us, but at the same time, it's as simple as just getting your playmakers the ball. So we're going to put the ball in our best kids' hands and let them work. But yeah, we'll bring some of the same stuff, but we're going to be more balanced as far as run pass.
For sure, for sure. Um, Tell me about some guys on the offensive and defensive side of the ball that you've witnessed during camp and during workouts and
Yeah,
practices and the 7-on-7s this summer that have really stood out, and just guys that you're excited to watch this season once you guys actually step on the field week one.
yeah. We got a good core back. We lost a lot from the state. The state run last year, but there's still a lot of guys back. And we've got some young guys too that are going to push. But some standouts. Obviously, we have number 22, Sammy Tomlinson, Kids Electric. Placed at state for track. He's very dangerous with the ball, so we're going to look to get him the ball in multiple ways. He's just a difference maker for us. So I'm excited to see him at receivers. We've got Coy Wanger, we've got Brady Hignite. Two guys coming back who are very, they can push the deep ball. Solidify the catch. Just outstanding playmakers. At tight end is Caden Russell. Again, a good solid tight end back for us. Can catch the ball well, can block. Great all around solid tight end. He's back from last year. Um, at quarterback, we've got a new quarterback. We're going to replace our quarterback from last year. He's a senior who graduated. So Carter Hignite has a nod there right now. Only a sophomore, doing a tremendous job for us. And up front, we've got 3 of our 5 guys back on the line with Matt Heatwell, Cohen Regenbach, and then we have Trenton Hurt. And then we got a couple new guys who are, somebody's going to earn that spot. But a lot of guys back, but there's still some key pieces that it's a new team this year. But these guys, like you said, they've made that run. They're used to winning. They know what it takes. So that's very exciting. And a lot of the same guys on defense. I mean, they're two-way players. We're going to get our best kids on the field. So a lot of those same guys will be on defense. In the secondary, we'll have Coy, Brady, Gabe Clark's going to be another corner for us to step up. He's a senior. At linebacker will be Jackson Ryder. Connor Morey's going to play, probably 2 ways for us. He'll play linebacker, may fill in on the line as well. Then you got Sammy and Alex Hess. Alex Hess is our fullback on offense. He's another outside linebacker who's returning 2-way player. He's outstanding as well. And then those same guys are going to fill in up front on the D line. So we should be solid on both sides of the ball. But again, it always starts up front. If you don't have an O line and they can't block, or if you can't control the D line on defense, it's not very successful typically. So it's good to have a lot of those. The core guys we talk about getting the ball in the playmakers, but it really starts up front with those big guys, and they do a lot of the dirty work and control the line of scrimmage. So excited that we have those 3 returners back.
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. Now, you mentioned that you've got a new quarterback and a
Yep.
younger quarterback
Yes,
stepping
sir.
in right now. Especially with young guy, like how much of it? I'm sure there's obviously a lot of teaching involved when you have a
For
younger
sure.
quarterback, but how much is it too of just getting him reps, just to see things in practice and just
Yep.
even if it's in these 7-on-7s, or eventually if you get to a scrimmage or something in the next couple weeks. And then obviously, first couple weeks of the season, I mean, how much is it just about getting him reps? Because you had a younger quarterback last year at
Yes,
Cambridge
sir.
with Garrett Carpenter. So I'm sure it's kind of a similar sort of situation in that
It is.
respect, just a young guy. What's that been like?
Yeah, just you said it, get reps. These 7-on-7s are very beneficial for him. I know it's not, game like with the line and that, but you can't replicate those reps, in practice. It's, your varsity guys versus varsity guys, their best versus our best. Making sure that you have that timing down with our receivers is key, and they're on the same page. And they just learn the offense because it's a new offense from last year. So everybody's learning, not just our quarterback, but yeah, he's going to be a first year varsity player. Um, the good thing is we have some great pieces around him to help him, to ease some of that pressure. And you know what I mean with the run game. That's the quarterback's best friend. So
Oh,
yeah, I'm
absolutely.
excited for Carter, and I think he's going to do a great job. And he's both quarterbacks. We've got a freshman quarterback who's very talented as well. They're both learning, and I'm excited to see what these kids do this year because they're a sponge. They soak everything you tell them up, and you're not fixing the same mistake twice, which is always good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're really excited to see what you guys do. I'm sure that you relish kind of having this sort of, I don't want to say pressure, but just sort of this excitement just
Yeah.
surrounding you and the team because they are coming off of a state championship run last year. And so now it's a chance to do it again. I'm sure you're more than excited about that
Yes.
opportunity.
Yeah. I don't think it's pressure. I think it's exciting.
Mhm.
If you have expectations, you're doing something right in my eyes. So
Of
for
course.
these kids, it's great. Again, like I told you before, they have high expectations. Which is good because that's going to elevate you in the way you practice and the reps you get and the looks you get. If you have those expectations, you better be consistent day in and day out in what we do and perfect the little things.
Well, Coach Leek, I really appreciate you coming
Absolutely.
on our podcast today, man. It means the world. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do this year. We're looking forward to covering you, and thanks again, man, for coming
I
on.
appreciate you having me, and thank you guys for your coverage throughout the year. You guys are outstanding.